I'm Pete Waterman, the oldest record producer in the world.
Well, I've got a couple of questions for you, if that's all right.
Yep.
And I've got some decisions to make about my career. I love music. I can play a little. I wouldn't say I'm naturally talented, but really want a career in the music industry. I've been told to choose more of a safe career path and something a little bit more realistic. But what are your experiences and what is your advice for breaking into the music industry?
Firstly, let's get one thing very plain. If you can't play music, you've got a bit of a job going into the music business, because at the end of the day, it is about music. It's not about business, it's about music. And if you go and be an accountant, then go and get an accountant's career and come into the record business as an accountant. And if you want to be a solicitor, go and be a solicitor and come into the... but if you want to be in the music business, you've got to know music. There's no other substitute. And liking it is not a qualification, okay? I like lots of things. I'd like to be a racing driver, but at 61 I'm not going to be. So I'll watch it on the telly. So the first thing you need is an iron will. You've got to have an iron will, because you'll be told no far more times than you'll ever be told yes. And you've got to have a determination and a self-belief. Self-belief is the most important thing.
Do you think there's any particular qualifications that may help me in this industry?
Yeah. Music. It's always the same thing, everybody says, I can sing. Well, can you? Can you really sing? How good are you? How determined are you? It's not whether you think you're good, or your mum or your dad or your sister or your brother or the kids down the local club. Because this is going to take you, if you go on a training scheme, you might be on it for 3 months. This is going to take you 30 years. If you look at the average age of people that break into the music business properly, they're probably 10 years into their career. Some people get lucky, but you can't base a career on luck. That's impossible. You can be lucky, like I have been, lucky, but you can't base it as a career pattern. You've got to approach it as a business.
So what did you do to get to where you are today?
You have to understand, the business that I got into 40 years ago was a completely different ballpark to today. There were probably 4 times as many companies. There were lots of little feeder companies that you could come through and learn your skills and work your way up. That's not the same anymore. Today, unfortunately, in all businesses, cash is king. And the quicker you learn, the quicker you're able to earn for your employer, the more likely you are to keep your job. And that's as true in the music industry as in any job. It is a tough, cutthroat business,
Do you think it will help me trying to do sort of free work experience? Trying to get down to, is it London I need to go to, and go and work with companies and try and get that life experience while I'm young?
You need to do anything, absolutely anything, and not expect pain. I've slept on floors, I've slept on railway stations, I've slept in radio stations, studies. I didn't care. But whether it was whatever it took, I had to do it. I needed experience. I went to America because I love R&B music. That's my passion. And I don't know whether you noticed, but I'm not black, so it wasn't a career path that was well chosen. But to learn about R&B, there was no point being in Coventry. I had to go to what was then the R&B capital of the world, Philadelphia. So I went and knocked on a door. It was an all-black company. They thought I was, taking the mickey. But they liked me. They liked my enthusiasm. They liked my knowledge of their product. So they gave me a job. They didn't pay me. I think they paid me in lollipops, if I remember right. But, I spent 6 months there and came back with probably more knowledge than anybody my age in the music industry at that point. And came back, of course, because I'd been working with some huge acts that were just breaking in Britain. So I got onto Radio 1, and I'm suddenly this expert from Coventry on Radio 1 who's worked in Philadelphia. And you know what? I started getting offers. Now, I lost every bit of penny of my savings, but that's the risk you have to take.
Oh, I think that knowledge has been great. Thanks a lot for your time.
Pleasure.